my focus would really be around what I have called career success tips. Some of the tips that I think extremely important, extremely necessary if we would continue to progress the way our careers are designed to. I will take time today in the next few minutes to share some of those tips. A good way to start, this is me just wanting to ensure that between you and I, we have a clear understanding of exactly what we're talking about today. Is I will try to define, if you like, what career is. And I decided to make it simple and just lift the dictionary definition of career. So I'll read a definition and then we can begin to look at parts of that definition that are important for this conversation. So career basically is an occupation that is undertaken for a significant period of a person's life with opportunities for progress. A few words within that definition are key, extremely important. Let's take the word occupation and let's look at it for a bit. Meaning it takes time, it is something that will take time. The definition goes a bit further to talk about a significant period of a person's life and talks about opportunities for progress. Progress is another word that we will speak about a bit more. If I want to expatiate a bit on what career is, I have also looked at it as progress and actions that are taken by a person through his lifetime, especially those that relate to a person's occupation, when it relates to the job he does or the work that is accomplished. Again, keywords, progress, very important. So you cannot talk about career when you are not, speaking about progress. Extremely important. Progress is key. Actions. Again, career is not about being laid back. It's about taking deliberate steps. Those steps are why in that definition we talk about actions. It is taken by a person, so you don't talk about career and talk about robots. No, you talk about career when it relates to human beings, to persons. The other part of the definition I want to talk about is lifetime. So some people think, oh, my career is for the 20 years that I work, is for the 5 years that I work, for the 2 years. It is really a lifetime conversation. It is something that takes place through the entire lifetime, and it is related to the things that you do on a daily basis, and that's why we have the word occupation, because it does take your time on a day-to-day basis. So basically, I thought it was important to start off with, a simple definition of what career is, so that we can all be on the same page, and when we talk about the tips, when we talk about stagnancy in career, we are not, mincing words in any way. So why exactly is there a need for us to discuss career progress or success? Why is it important? When this topic came to me, I thought it was necessary to do a bit of statistics and check and see why is this really important. The first one that I want to mention is 79% of employees would love to have better careers. Now, this is a global workforce study that was done in 2016, and it says that 79%, that's almost 80% of employees, sit down and, based on the research done, believe that they would prefer to have better careers. Now, what the definition of better careers is, different people can look at it differently, but I think it's a staggering statistic when you think about the fact that a lot of us are in our jobs, a lot of us are getting stuff done, but 79% of that whole population believe that, we can have better careers. Another staggering statistic is we have 75% of people have experienced a move in their careers that they consider a setback or stagnation. That's again almost 80%, very close to 80%. It's really high. So a lot of people experience moves within their lifetime of work, their lifetime of what is supposedly progress, that they consider as setbacks or they consider as stagnation. Again, we would want to calibrate what we mean by setback or stagnation as we progress in this discussion. But the point is, another staggering statistic, 75% of people believe that they've experienced some form of stagnation, some form of setback, in their careers. Another, and I seem to be dancing around the 70s. I have another 70-something% statistic. 77% of people feel that, or the workforce feel that they do not have the right skills to make it to the next level in their careers. So I think it's kind of like a good thing that people take time to assess themselves, and based on a self-assessment, 77% of, the global study, the workforce from the global study, people believe that they don't have exactly what it takes to be at the next level. It's kind of like, it's kind of, a bit of an irony, because people feel they don't have what it takes to be on the next level, but, the same staggering group of people believe that, they've experienced some form of setback or stagnation in their careers. It's basically like a call to action in that regard. And only 17% feel that they have accomplished careers. Only 17% of people feel that they are passionate to perform consistently at higher levels. So again, without speaking too much about this, is not a story into statistics, but this is just so that we understand the size of the problem. The size of the problem. Basically, a lot of people, the statistics shows that a lot of people believe that career is a problem. It's something that people wish they could get better at and get better results. Now
Welcome to the Q&A session. Breaking career stagnation is a discuss, and we have Osh here to do justice to that. Osh, I'm going to ask you a question. I promise it will be one.
Okay.
Now, the question is this. You have worked in various organizations. You have about, like you said, altogether 14 years work experience.
16 actually. 16.
Oh, okay. So, but these 16 years have cut across various top choice organizations. I mean, most people would desire to work in those organizations, maybe because of, the perception we have about them. But one thing I know is that they have thorough recruitment process. So what is it about you, that prepared you, for your functions in these organizations?
That's a very good question. Tough one, actually. So what prepared me for these functions? I will go back to the last point about having clear milestones.